Hello everyone and welcome back to D&D with WhatTeamComp. I am your host, our chaotic DM, the Uncommon Guru, and I am here once again with my good friends, Zarkwarts, who is playing the human paladin Aurelius.
I am very, very excited to be eating mac and cheese.
Delicious.
Dead fucking voice ever.
That's just the way he talks. He's just got that kind of tone. Mary, who is playing Genevieve, aka Fidget, the human fighter.
I'm not eating anything at the moment, but hello.
Paris, who is playing Serenity, our Azamar barbarian.
I got fucking water.
And Kendall,
You know
who's
what?
playing Artemis,
That counts.
our half-elf artificer wizard.
Hi, I am eating.
I'm
I am
glad
eating.
people are eating and staying hydrated. That is good.
I said nothing
Oh,
about
God.
hydration.
Stay
Just say,
hydrated.
I am eating.
You don't.
What
tell me
about you? What are you eating?
What?
Yeah, I said
Yeah.
I wasn't eating anything. I have water next to me. I'm just not drinking it at the moment, so you know.
He asked what you're eating, Kendall.
No, not you. Not you. You.
Oh, I'm eating
You
ramen.
comp.
All right, hand it over. I'm gonna put it in the mac and cheese.
Do you like spicy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck, man.
Then you
In
will
this
enjoy it.
country,
I'm allowed to ask.
ironically, a lot of people in this country can't handle spicy food.
I believe it. That's why I asked.
You can handle the fucking homicidal marsupials and the giant spiders the size of your torso, but
They don't have
You get spice above mild.
Yeah.
Spicy.
So, you all ready?
Ready.
Yes.
Last time, with this ragtag little group, we have entered into our wave break arc, whereupon Fidget made contact with the Collective, the shady mafia-like organization she has been a part of, and was told she had one of three choices, one of three trials, and the trial that was chosen was a trial of endurance. She has to last 3 days until dusk of the third day from dawn of the first day. Along the way, her old mentor, Van Sterling, and her old group showed up to escort her to effectively a safe house. This safe house allowed for everyone to talk among a few different things and speak with the group, some of which are better than others, for lack of better elaboration. Some are more stoic, others more open, some more talkative, others more creepy. But it is a diverse and strange group, to say the least. Starting off, Artemis. You were with Crazy, codename Crazy, who is just over the moon about seeing you again, and has been having you help with the changes made to Fidget's cloak.
Mhm.
And after a little bit, it doesn't take too long to get done, but at the same time, it's very clearly something that is a comfort to Crazy as they're going over, and as they finish, they kind of like not as fidgety, not as they're stimming effectively, using the magic creation process as a way to relax themselves. They're a little too excited about seeing you again, and they're just finding a way to calm down, just dial it back a little. And after a bit, they kind of just sigh and lean back, just kind of hopping from foot to foot before they look at you and go, "So, that's you joined up with she goes by Fidget now, right?"
Yes, she's Fidget.
She's Fidget, got it. And you named him?
I just told them one day that I just wanted, asked if it was okay if I could call him Fidget, because I used to nickname my friends because it was easier to have code names when we were out because
Yeah.
wanted posters.
Wanted posters. Yeah, no, I remember. I think I'm still wanted. But then again, I was in an orphanage, so I don't think even my mama wanted me. So, gives a shrug like, what
You're
can you
wanted?
do? You want me. That's because you're my
Dare
sister.
you?
You have to love me.
No, I don't.
But, holds his heart like, oh no, the love.
I'm making a choice here.
Oh, okay. I'm desired. Hooray.
She'll kind of shrug off her own cloak to keep working on what they're doing.
After a little bit, there is a knock at the door, and Crazy keeps working for a minute, and then a person kind of peeks their head in, gives another little knock, and Crazy kind of peeks their head like, yeah, oh, hey, gives a little wave. Oh, hey, hey, Artie, this is a friend of mine. 1 second, and they start doing some sign language to them, and the person, their speech is slow, but they're very much quicker with the sign language bits, as they're like, the motion to a headband that's positioned behind their ears with like a few little beads and what appears to be like grass, not grass, just like leaf kind of protrusions coming from it. My item is too loud. He goes, hey, Artie, can you help me with this?
Yes. And she'll be signing as she talks.
And the person looks delighted. It's like, are you, just full signing, are you Crazy's assistant?
And she'll sign back, I'm his sister.
They give a little clap and just look between the two of you and just like, that's wonderful. I've heard a little bit about Crazy's siblings. He talks a lot about how he's been trying to prepare for them to arrive.
She'll kind of squint at him.
He's off, like, pulling out a few different things and looks back when he sees you squinting, just like, what? What'd I do?
Did you know you were coming this way?
No, not at all. But I figured I'd run paths with you eventually if I was diligent enough. Or, if I was crazy lucky. One of the two.
Well, I guess you are a little both. And as she's talking, she's still signing with both of her hands.
Mm-hmm.
So that the other person can keep up with the conversation that they are having as well.
They look very grateful, and after a bit they actually take off the headpiece and they offer it to you. It's like just a normal headband with just a little bits to it, but when they offer it to you, you actually get a second to look it over. It has little glyphs that are carved into it, which you can see. A few of them are a bit rough, and they could use just a little bit more just refinement of their of where they're placed to make it probably flow a little bit better for the magic, but it's effectively just a magical sort of hearing aid.
She'll nod and she'll thank them and start working on it.
Crazy moves up and helps you out in little ways along the way as they just kind of talk to the other person in sign. Before looking back, she's like, sorry, they're, well, I wasn't sure, if you would be able to talk when I met you, so I was working on a few different things. I learned how to speak, unspoken word, and when I was working on it, I realized that for this group, the collective, I'm sure you heard that name a time or two, that people who you can't heal will need some way to get around that. Like there's there's a weird difference between being deafened and being deaf. And I'm looking into
One
it.
you're born with and one is caused to you?
Yeah, what usually by some effect like magical or otherwise. I don't know all the details myself. I haven't been deafened
That's
enough.
because one is usually an injury.
Yeah, you can heal an injury, but I was like that's not good enough.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. I wanted to make sure that I could be of assistance to you and to other people and to even more people. I'm still I'm working on, and he walks over and he shows you they're basically bifocals, a pair of glasses. And he shows them to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on these. It's not good. Can you?
She's gonna take off her glasses and try them on.
They are completely blacked out. Put them on, you can't see
She'll kind of
anything.
stagger back a little bit.
Whoop, careful.
Ooh.
They not working is the problem. And you hear them making motions, and when you take off your glasses and put yours back on, your friend has currently stepped out for a second, is waving for someone, and you can hear like a few different people call out before another person walks in. This person looks to be wearing like a bat-shaped headpiece that has no eyes, just completely black cloth across it, and they give a little. They make like this little chirp sound, and then kind of look towards you after a second. Go, oh, hi, pleasure to meet you. I'm presuming you're the one with the little bit of magical ingenuity here. Crazy's been great and all, but I heard...
Yes, I can do magic.
Oh, what wonderful. Would you like to take a look?
Sure.
And they take off the headpiece, and you can see when they take it off, they are blind. They offer it to you, and you look inside of it, and it doesn't give any form of sight, but as you're looking over the bits of inscriptions, roll an Arcana check for this one. This one's a bit more complex.
Ooh, nat 20.
Yeah. This headpiece, when worn, looks like it would be able to give effectively a form of echolocation. Not fully permanent blind sight sort of thing, but enough that someone who wasn't able to see would be able to translate things in the area based off of sound, which would explain the little chirping sound they make. It does render you blind while wearing it, but that is just a boon for them at that point, as the mask helps to interpret the motion of things around based off of the sounds they make.
Fascinating.
That one took me 6 months. It's complex. It's a lot.
It's very complex. I bet you ran into many things while wearing it.
I've gotten a lot better, actually. I ran into things for the first week, and then I started actually listening.
Mm-hmm.
Felt like things were louder, and then I realized it was just how I was listening to things that was needed to have a perspective change.
Artemis will nod.
And Crazy will gently take their hand and put the mask back into their hand as they put it back on, and they give a little cheep. Just, it's a pleasure to meet you. I hope that I get to see more of you soon. Crazy's said that there's a few people he respects, and that you are kind of looks over to Crazy. You're superior in every way. That's what you said, right? And Crazy, without hesitation, yep, in every way possible. It'll be a pleasure to see more of you.
Artemis will
then.
just shake her head.
What?
I hope I'll see more of you too. Stop that.
It's true! You are, in fact, better at me at everything. I just exist.
You exist in a wonderful way. You are not worse at me than things.
Oh, pshaw. Gives a little.
You made all of these things. She makes a gesture at all the stuff in the room.
I stumbled into most of this. I wasn't expecting any of this to actually work.
That's what makes them great.
Fair. Yeah. Hi. You need something? You see, Razor has moved to the door, and they give a little. They're about to give a little knock, and they kind of like pause as they kind of look at him with this look like, "Wait, you didn't notice all the other people knocking. Me, you noticed me." But he puts his hand down and motions to you, Artemis, and says, "Van Sterling would like to have a word with you and your group. I'm gathering you all together in his office, if you don't mind."
I get the feeling this is more of a demand than a request, so I'll be probably back later.
Less of a demand
She kind of
and
pat Crazy's arm.
more of a necessity.
So demand, got it.
Sorry. Crazy
No,
pats-
it's fine, I've had worse.
Crazy pats your arm back. I'll be here, most likely. If I'm not, if anyone hurts you, I promise you I will fire stones from as far as I can and see them laid out like the fool they are. Yeah.
Okay, and when we're done with this, I need to show you a thing. And she kind of raises her arm to show him.
He looks at it, and it takes him a few seconds as he looks at it, nods, blinks, narrows eyes. When did you lose the hat? Story later.
Do you
Story
remember
later.
those? Yeah, you'll get angry if I tell you right now.
Yeah, I won't be able to work properly, and I'll probably end up throwing something. Most likely myself over the table. Go, 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 go.
Okay, I'm going.
Go, go. As you're leaving, you just hear what the fuck? As the door closes. And Razor kind of pauses, looks to the door, and looks back to you. He's my protective.
He's crazy.
He is crazy, yeah.
He's my brother. What would you do with family?
I think I understand him a mite better now.
Yes. When you're put in a bad place with other people who are also just as powerless as you are, you tend to bond together.
It's something. Come on.
I'm following.
He will lead you to the room. Everyone else, Razor will have gently kind of tapped you on the shoulder and told you that Van Sterling wishes to speak with you. Would you all like to convene in Van Sterling's office?
Fidget follows where she's asked to go.
Really? Serenity?
I'm following.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
She's
already
still giving
there.
a stink eye to fucking Silver.
He's not coming with.
Oh, no, he's not. He gives you like a mildly dismissive look and then kind of just goes back to what he was doing. And you all enter in.
Why cursing in another language?
Yeah. You all enter in, and Razor makes a motion to Van Sterling, asking if he should stay or step out, and Van Sterling thinks for a moment and motions for him to step outside. He nods and he does so. And he motions for you all to take a seat. It's not that he has a desk. It's like a Japanese mat where he's sitting at one end and there are basically just cushions for you to sit on. As he motions for you all
Are
to sit.
there
Huh.
any like books or anything of note in the room?
Looking around, there is a
would-
map on the table, and a few books near him, as well as a few on the walls and such.
Okay. Anything that?
Nothing with marked spines.
Okay. He's
We'll take the seat.
walking around the table looking at the map, trying to get his orientation.
Helping with that, then Sterling takes out a like a little, almost like a pawn token, and sets it on the map at one point. And he looks up to you for a second. That's where we are, if that's helping you any.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time. I'm in no rush at the moment, but we're going to need to at some point. He gives a nod to
Which
Fidget, and then to the rest of you.
Which way's north?
He taps the compass on the bottom of the map, which shows the orientation of north, south, east, west.
He takes a mental note and sits in a position where he's looking and can see everything.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's just a seat at the table, effectively. Or, just a seat at the table.
Yeah, more specifically, what I mean is
I get what you mean.
in a way that, yeah.
Yeah. And he looks
Artemis will come forward and quickly read over the map,
Mhm.
memorizing it.
Gotcha. And he will...
Fidget
Oh, go
just
ahead.
sits down and like in the middle, kind of like, okay, this is because of me. I'm gonna be center here.
Sitting or standing, Serenity?
Standing. Most likely just directly behind Artemis, like the fucking cliche attack dog.
Gotcha. Just making sure. And then Sterling takes a moment. Just seems to be like looking over the map for a moment longer while you all sit there. And there's a moment of silence. Then he sighs for a moment and looks at you all. I have a plan, or at least a framework of a plan, to try and help make this as successful as possible. Understandably, I'm doing this with information I have gleaned from you, and information I know of the group I'm working with. I'd like to run it past you all, see what your thoughts are. Would that be amenable?
I'm all ears, sir.
Aurelius just kind of like brings his hand to his chin in thought. I'm listening.
You saying something, Paris? You keep lighting up every now and then.
Oh, I'm typing on my keyboard. I think I might be picking it up. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Oh,
I just,
okay.
I just
That
wanted to
makes
make
sense.
sure
That
that
makes
you two
sense.
had a moment to respond before he jumps into it.
Oh, no. Serenity's staying quiet.
Okay. Artemis?
Artemis is reading the map and not really making eye contact with anyone, but she kind of gives a little nod
Okay.
for him to continue.
There are a number of people in the group that I brought who can disguise themselves magically for the most part. I'm thinking day one, right before dawn, give it maybe half an hour or so. The group that you all are pairs off, splits into the city. Takes out another marker, puts it at the other end of the city. The objective is to spread out for the first couple of hours, make it look like you're trying to find safe haven in other areas before making your way to that safe house by nightfall. After which y'all will be escorted to another safe house. Takes out a marker, sets it on the map. somewhere in between dawn and the early morning, we'll open those doors and careen through the city. Make a big scene. Day 2 will be getting people to run all around the city trying to find a loose carriage. At one point, y'all will be dropped off less than pleasantly, but in a way that'll allow you to come back here. During the 2 days, we'll be trying to fortify this location to ensure that no one is able to penetrate it for day 3, where we will keep them out as best we can. This is the thought I had. But you all have had different experiences, and I'd like to hear if you have anything of note to work off of.
You're saying that you're gonna have others look like me for day 1?
Yes.
And in your plan, it wouldn't be all of us. And she motions to the group, all of us together, right?
It would not.
Bit of a target on my back.
You were seen with them sitting at the table. Therefore, having them split between the others will make it so that it is less likely that they know which one to run with.
Less of a target, split the party, split the groups coming after me.
With them all disorganized, when we let loose the carriage on day 2 with the cavalry, they'll be so disorganized they won't be able to stop much of the rampage, and by the time they realize that they've followed that to the end of the docks, you'll be back here. They'll have to rest and recuperate for their night, or try and slip in and find themselves at the pointy end of spear and bow.
There'd be plenty of eyes on us.
There would indeed. Biggest problem I can consider outside of actually getting caught by other members is getting caught by the guard. Getting put in there is not a death sentence, but it is certainly a frustration for the plans.
As long as they don't think I went to the guards to get a safe haven, because Iceberg made sure to say that I'd be killed in my cell if I tried to do that.
That's if you're looking to get safe haven. If you're getting caught for doing something stupid, he can't call that looking for sanctuary amongst them. He can still have someone go in to kill you in the cell, but he can't call it out as that if it's a plan gone awry.
I got one other question, and then others if you have something to say. I trust your opinion on this stuff. And she looks at the group. How we getting from point A to point B from transporting between these safe houses?
Underground. There's a series of tunnels under the city. A network that goes from certain areas to certain areas. Most don't know of them, but I kept tabs.
Would Aurelius know of any crypts or catacombs in the region?
In this region, based off of just what he knows is mostly to the north, I'd say no.
Okay.
From looking at the map and what Artemis is able to make an educated guess about, would it be possible to make a lot of new entrances into this? These underground tunnels.
I'll say an investigation check.
Okay. Because Artemis has traveled underground before.
Mm-hmm.
20.
20. Looking it over, the places that they've motioned to look to be warehouses, as was mentioned. And as you're looking it over, you realize that there's more than likely, and if there are entrances that go from point A to point B in that direction, there might be some around this warehouse. Not that exit into this warehouse, but likely an entrance near this warehouse, maybe like a few blocks away, as well as a few others. But you'd have to see the underground network to understand or figure out where more of them are. Still, it's a good educated guess is based off of where you are looking, particularly due to the fact that you think that there's a pattern to it, but you're still trying to figure it out as you're looking it over.
Okay.
A potential way to escape, if need be.
Artemis will point out some of the weak spots to both penetrate from the outside and potentially escape.
And Sterling will nod slowly, kind of look you over for a second before looking back to the map and nodding again. Good to know.
Is everyone in agreement that we got it split up for the first day? I know that we're trying to do the whole buddy system thing, but you guys were seen with me, and if we're all together, it's gonna be very obvious where I am.
Ignoring
That makes
Part of
sense.
that.
But who
ignoring
will
my
we...
Oh,
Sorry,
no,
go ahead.
ignoring my base instincts. It is likely the best option.
What do your base instincts say?
My base instincts tell me to stay as close together as possible. And basically a formation reminiscent of that of a diamond, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Someone at the back, someone vigilant at the back, and two incredibly exceptional fighters on the side, with a pathfinder at the front. Again, this is
Being observant only works so well against magical. You
Magical
don't know what kind of tricks they could pull.
traps. They will be trying every dirty trick in the book, and perhaps a few others that they'll invent on the fly.
I would say, as long as we find our way back to each other, that agreeing to and pre-preparing to split up like this would be okay for a temporary thing as long as we know that we're coming back and have a place to come back to.
That
Well,
is the
Von
idea.
Sterling did say that it's just for the day.
That is the idea, yes. And I wouldn't be
should
I
anything
have-
happen
Good.
Sorry.
should anything happen to us, will we have a way to communicate that we've fallen? Or is it just a matter of a head count at the end of the day?
Ultimately, for the time being, it will be a head count.
What about those earpieces I saw on the crew?
Earpieces.
Would you like a set of those?
They all had matching earrings.
Crazy can get you set up if you need them.
Out of character, they're a form of communication telepathically.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
They're called spies' murmurs.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know what they are. Aurelius has never seen them.
Yes.
Mhm.
Correct. Also, point of order, Velinor and Maxim are here.
Okay.
I did not
Fidget
mention them.
will
That was
turn
my
in-
bad.
Yeah, Fidget will turn and look at Maxim and Velinor, who have been quiet, going, any opinions on what's going on?
Well, sounds like we gotta move fast. That's that much is simple. Beyond that, don't get caught. Which sounds really silly when I say it out loud like that. Sorry. First time I'm experiencing something like this. It's new. Velinor just kind of like was looking over everything. It's just like, are there alleyways that we can potentially, whoever I'm with should be on a longer path? I can slow people who try and use the alleyways to follow us. I can grow plants. Might buy more time, at least for a little bit. I don't know what his accent is right now. I'm sorry.
You just knew he had a deeper voice.
Yes.
That's all you remembered.
Won't the plants likely get stuck in the cobblestone?
They won't last forever. I'm not going to cast it all day. It might uproot some of the cobblestone and have to be fixed later, but other than that, it should be fine.
Hmm. And what of the rooftops?
I didn't think of those.
I may not be a member of the collective or anything like that and know nothing about your tactics, but I know that in warfare, high ground is an advantage, especially with archers. And if they're tracking us, they're probably going to be using the rooftops.
Almost certainly. Not incorrect. That high ground also means that they'll have a slight disadvantage once you hit crowded streets. They just need to hit you and knock you off guard. But revealing themselves to the general public by shooting someone walking through the marketplace isn't exactly the ideal scenario for them. Which means that if they're coming for you, they'll likely come on the ground. But they'll follow you from the rooftops just as much as anywhere else. They can't just say that they brought her in after bringing down a building, as an example. They'll need to get in and bring her out. Actual proof.
And he never said if it was supposed to be dead or alive. They
No,
just
he
need
didn't.
proof that it's me.
Which means some of them might be looking to take you alive and will use non-lethal methods, and others will use lethal methods because, well,
It's
They don't
what
like
they're
the
trying
hassle.
to do.
it's less hassle for them. That's their choice.
I
not
have a.
mine.
It's like I have a reputation of fighting back, so you know.
Some of them are going to take
feel-
that as a challenge, and they're going to accept that challenge.
I feel like anyone in your line of work would have a reputation for fighting back.
No, that's actually why I got in trouble. Is I fought back. So I have a
Arches an
literal-
eyebrow.
That's a literal. I
Yeah.
literally have a reputation specifically in this instance of fighting back.
She's not
I
wrong.
knew there was a reason that I liked you.
There's a reason
There
why
was
I had her on my team.
Serenity. It was a group of 6 or 7. I don't remember. It was a blur. I was the only one still standing. At the And
I'm
that
sorry.
included Teddy and his little friend.
Pat your shoulder. Let it be known that I greatly enjoy your company. And I can't wait to see you fight more.
I'm getting back to where I used to be. Gonna take a bit of time.
So we've gotten day one, which is run around like headless chooks, I guess, in the city. And then
With
day
multiple
2,
balloons everywhere.
yeah, I'm still wrapping my head around that. And then day 2 is careening down the streets, basically pausing
Hey, Zark,
the.
what's up with your mic?
He's when he plays Borderlands, his mic gets crackly.
Oh,
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. You sound like a crackly robot when you play Borderlands.
Hello.
Hello?
He's returned. Is it better?
Is it fixed at all, or is it still bad?
it's still
Not as
crackly, but it's fine if you
it's
want to
better.
keep it.
Mm,
So you were saying about the careening through the streets.
Yeah,
of town
sorry.
On a
You're good.
carriage?
Yeah. Careening through the streets, all eyes on us. Do we have a driver that's not gonna overturn the fucking carriage?
We have a whole crew dedicated to that kind of thing. They're called the Cavalry.
Falcon
That's
should be
who's
able
been
to
driving
reach
us all over the place.
it. Falcon's trustworthy.
Is he gonna do his normal tactics? Meaning,
He-
does he have his carriage with the equipment he usually has?
He has this look that's just kind of like thoughtful and just like it has this look of just like eh.
Because Iceberg made it very clear that we, and she points to the group, aren't allowed to hurt civilians.
Correct.
Wait. Is he going to hurt civilians?
No, but civilians are
No.
going to quickly learn to get out of the way. If they haven't already figured that a careening carriage should be the biggest reason to do so.
Are you counting on the god getting attention as well as with us careening around?
Yes. It will mean that they will be likely having other members join their ranks without them realizing and vice versa, but it will also mean that they'll be so busy trying to follow the guardsmen who are following the carriage that they won't be able to recognize when you all get out of the carriage quickly, and they continue to follow the carriage while you all make your escape back to here.
Talk and roll and run.
Exactly.
Sounds like how we first met.
Yeah, no. You ain't wrong. Yeah, no. Happy little coincidences. And she'll look at Von Sterling going, I'll explain after.
When we get through this alive, yes. Any questions currently?
Who will
You've
we
mentioned
each be
day 1 and-
traveling with?
A good question.
Yeah, why isn't the ones that are gonna be with us in here? Shouldn't they know the plan?
2 reasons. Reason number 1. I don't want to distrust them, but the fewer people who are intimately aware of the plan, all days, should be kept low. I don't need the unseen. Pauses and kind of like rephrases what he's saying. Members who are spies, getting back to the rest of the collective to tell of what our plan is. I don't want them following you into the underground when that is meant to give you a night to rest. The second
Fair.
bit, he leans back a little and kind of runs his fingers across the back of his hand, and there's a tension, a moment of a flicker of worry.
This isn't something Fidget's used to seeing on him, is it?
No, that's why you notice it. But
Fidget will frown,
yeah.
but not say anything.
D'Artez is crafty. Enough that he's been able to keep me from knowing all of what he's done in the last number of years we've worked together. There's a worry that one of my own works for him now. And he looks to you, Fidget.
She'll meet his gaze.
I had some unseen send a message ahead for me to pick up. Tedric said he was going to be going on his way to Cormundum for no apparent reason. And I don't know.
So on top of all of this, I gotta worry about Teddy.
He might show up. Maybe. But if he is here, then somehow he followed you. And I don't put it on him for being the most esteemed tracker.
He ain't.
Which would imply someone in my group would have told him, or one of the other collective members told him, which shouldn't be, because all news should report to me directly, not to D'Artez. Though I
So
can't
you're
trust
still
that.
uncertain. You're still uncertain who's under his thumb.
No, I'm not certain. I'm happily willing to admit that. But
Are
unhappily,
you side-eyeing any of the ones who will be with us for the 3 days?
he shakes his head slowly. I don't know. I'm not asking you to put your faith in any of them. In fact, your lack of faith might be your greatest asset here.
I appreciate your honesty, sir.
Whether you knew it or not, you've kept us safe for the last 2 years. And you've always
That's what
been
Razor
deserving.
was saying.
Yes, and despite everything, you've always been deserving of honesty. You've put in hard
We should
work.
compare notes, because I remember things very differently.
The person who you worked under was part me, part D'Artez. I can promise you that D'Artez put every obstacle he could in your path. I was more blind than I'll admit. I did not stop enough of them.
Another thing for when this is all over.
Agreed.
So to
Yeah.
Adi's question,
To
who are we
Artemis's
with?
question, yes. You spoke of pairs. Do you wish to remain in pairs amongst yourselves?
If I have the opinion of it, I think we should all be completely separated so as we are not all caught together, even in pairs. Since this is temporary.
He nods.
Aurelius kind of narrows his eyes.
You got a thought there, Aurelius?
I just don't exactly trust who I'd be with.
He just said not to trust him. Just gotta get through the day.
Consider it alone.
What, they're mercs now?
No, just a loan of trust.
Don't force me to answer that.
Okay, I'm
Most
ignored
likely
again. Can I have a
No.
moment, please?
Yes, please.
Go for it.
Just loan them your trust for a day. Let them know that they'll do their job correctly. Or they'll likely lose parts. She looks over at Big Boss Man.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot his name. I'm sorry.
It's
Von
Von
Sterling.
Sterling, and I just want to say I love Artemis even more with you saying that line around him. I love her so much.
Yeah,
No,
she
lose
says that. She
part.
kind of gestures over at him
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of gives him an apologetic look. they'll lose parts if they don't do their job correctly, right?
That's the idea, yes.
Then I trust them to have self-preservation, as to do the job correctly. I don't trust them with my life, I trust them with their lives.
There's a light smile. And you're very wise indeed.
I have moments. She kind of shrugs.
You don't give yourself enough credit.
Yeah, Adi, you're always probably the brightest one here.
You remember that when next time I set something on fire?
Yeah, no, in this situation, I think you should be allowed to set something on fire.
In fact, I
Artemis?
think you should.
Artemis, we said you were the most bright, not the most stable.
Technically speaking, fire is a form of brightness.
Do not indulge this!
No,
In this line of
actually, no,
work-
seriously. Aurelius kind of like stands up. I'm not even kidding. If you start a fire, that'll draw attention to you and away from Fidget.
I can do that. And there are some fellows out there that are working on an invisibility potion. She kind of looks at Fidget temporarily.
I'm all for trying new things.
Sure, he has her face in her hands.
Oh, come on, Serenity. Me being invisible and being able to just go running by? That'd be wonderful.
Invisibility, I'm fine with. I'm thinking of the fire.
Let Adi be.
This is
We
the
kept
one
telling-
time where I'm allowing it.
Yeah, we've kept telling Adi no. This is the perfect time to let her do what she wants and say yes.
When we don't know who will be backing her, and that gives attention to her and potentially. Okay.
Hold on.
It's fine.
And he will pull out a paper and he will set it in front of you.
There's a paper in front of me.
Yes. It says the pairings that he is considered.
Oh,
Aurelius with Silvertongue, Artemis with Midnight, Serenity with Razor, Fidget with Tank, Maxim with Ember, and Velinor with Jinx. And he taps the last one and says, they should be arriving before dawn. Velinor can run out and meet up with them, and hopefully that'll allow for some work to be done.
Fidget will look at Artemis going, who am I with?
You're with Razor.
No. Fidget is
No,
with
you're with Tank. Sorry, I know how to read. I
Yep,
read. I
You're
swear.
fine.
And I'm the one here that knows how to read. Anyway,
He knows how to read, yes.
Artemis will point at the one next to Aurelius, and then at the one next to Velinor. Can we switch these?
Next to Velinor and next to who?
She wants to switch. She wants to switch Jinx and Silvertongue.
Jinx and Silvertongue?
To make it so Velinor has to deal with Silvertongue and Aurelius deals with Jinx.
Listen, I know one of them will end up in a murder. I just know that Velinor has more patience than Aurelius.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
He will consider
I-
it, nod and say, you know your compatriots better than I will respect that. Aurelius will
I also know that these two, she points at Serenity and Aurelius, are not keen on your Silvertongue.
So I've
Nor am
heard.
I. So it's probably best to, I can be indifferent with them. But I'm not interested in a fight breaking out during this amongst allies.
When Fidget learns that she's paired with Tank, you actually watch her shoulders relax.
He glances to you, and again, there's that smile, but it's not less of a smirk, and it's you look at him, and for a brief moment you see his age, an old man, a grandfather who is paying attention to his kids, his grandkids, and he gives you a little nod. I remember how much of hellions you and Tank were. If at one point you were in a
Hellions.
room, if at one point you were in a room of 6 people and they all went down with you standing, I can only hope that if they send that few against you and Tank, that they'll be having their bodies used to surf the streets.
Fidget just full on laughs, going, Serenity got to learn a little bit of what we used to do. I think we'll be good.
She bends backwards and you hear 3 different pops.
Ooh, that sounded like it felt good. You hear from
Oh, it did not feel good.
Invictus. Do it again.
No! That was not pleasant.
Don't strain yourself before you get frisky.
Huh?
You get to beat people up just because they look at you funny. Do you know how much fun that gets to be? Oh wait,
This
no,
is
you
crazy
can't.
talking, yes?
No, this is
No, this is Invictus.
Yeah, this is Victus.
Oh, good
Yeah.
lord,
Yeah.
sweet Jesus.
Yep. Which after a moment, then Sterling does look to Aurelius. Since we are swapping Jinx in, if he does not show up before dawn, would you be amenable to Crazy working with you?
Aurelius just kind of narrows his eyes and looks over. If it's all the same, it doesn't matter.
It does. Because if you can work with someone that you've at least had some time to meet, better than someone who shows up a few minutes before you are having to ship out, I prefer that you work with them. I want this to be cohesive and well put together. I'm not going to have you be a soldier, boy. I want you to be among friends, for whatever that is worth. Yes, some of the people out there are not in the best mindsets, but all of them volunteered to do this, to help Fidget. And you have volunteered to help as well. And for that you have my respect. And with that respect comes the option to choose. So, if you have a preference, speak it now.
If a man has a preference on his fate, does it change their fate?
Yes.
And that is where we disagree.
You can disagree all you want. The option has been placed before you. You can either let it go, like the ocean's tide, or you can take hold of it and press forward. Simple options, really. I'm sure you could find a third or a fourth. These are the options I present to you.
I do not know these people, and therefore I have no preference. I have not seen them fight. As far as I'm aware, they're just cosmetics.
Jinx can fight. Fidget will voice out. Jinx can fight. He was young, but the boy can fight.
I don't trust him, but I trust you.
He and Tank and Reza were some of my best friends when I was still working in Cormundum.
Stop trying to justify it. If you believe in them, I believe in you.
I'm justifying because I know that this group is shady and hard to trust, and I want to show that there's more than just my word.
I do need to voice this to you, Fidget.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons I am sending you with Tank is for you to be sure that he is Tank. Am I understood?
You think Dantes got to Tank?
That boy's too clever for him to just get to him. He's not himself. He's not himself.
Is that what the copies are?
Copies?
Van Sterling stares for a moment. Not at you, not directly, he's looking at Fidget. And then his eyes flick to you. And he leans back ever so slightly. Speak your piece.
I saw one when we were in the crowd in there.
What did they look
In
like?
that.
Ooh. Did you see?
Out of character.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was a copy of Maxim, right?
Correct.
He looks like Maxim.
Maxim's head perks up. What?
Maxim's not even. What the hell is Dantes doing?
How would he have known to send? A thought for another
The
time.
most trusted allies.
Does he have dirty robes?
Possibly. You might also have unseen that were able to hear about you before you had the meeting, but you wouldn't have been able to send them that fast.
Fidget will turn and look at Maxim, going, "Did you use my name when you were doing questioning?"
I said none of your name. I asked details about the collective, and that was it. I didn't
Is
even
there a
know
way
what your nickname was until you told me.
Is there a way to tap our grapevine conversations?
Shouldn't be, not unless they have a grapevine that I've given to someone. I've given them to very few people. At least, I don't
Did you ever-
think there is.
Did you ever mention the grapevine to Aurelius? Or the rest of the party, or was it just a Fidget?
Fidget hasn't told any of you.
This is new.
Artemis knows because Artemis has one.
Yes.
So Artemis knows exactly what it is, but it is all you know is that she's got something hanging from her belt that she used to hold on to and talk to herself with.
Artemis pulls out her grapevine and kind of just holds it up. It's like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How'd you get one?
Fidget holds up. takes
That
it
was
off
me
her
out
belt.
of character,
Yeah,
being
yeah.
sure
but
that
yeah.
everything.
Yes.
But yeah,
correct.
Fidget takes her grapevine off and holds it up so that the group and Von Sterling can see it, going, "This is how Maxim and I have been communicating since
Interesting.
we met
Ah.
up again."
Okay. Enlighten me. How does this work?
He's got one. I've got one. I squeeze onto the little bead at the bottom and we communicate.
And
Just like
his one doesn't contact anyone else.
No.
Your one doesn't contact anyone else.
No.
It's just like pure.
I can only talk to him. He can only talk to me through the one that he's got from me.
He shows that he
So it's like a sending stone.
Yes, but it's short. It can send short snippets, one after the other. Unlike a sending stone, there is obviously a downside to it, which is that we can interrupt each other, whereas a sending stone will send and be very clearly 25 words, and it can be anywhere on the world. We have to be on the same landmass. Which Cormundum's big, so that does help.
Okay, so out of character, I remember you saying something at one point, Comp, about Fidget's going straight to Maxim, but whenever Maxim responded, just a bunch of other people would suddenly get an out of context message.
If they
Because
have
when
it
you
on,
first-
if they have it on
Yeah,
the
if there's a
same
group.
grapevine, there is you can put
Okay.
more beads on it for a group conversation. He does show one around his wrist, which is just one bead.
Okay, that's probably where I was getting confused. Okay, sorry.
No, you had remembered correct information. It's just he does show you it's one bead for the one with her, and he does show that he has just the one bead for her.
She'll look at Von Sterling going, anyone got ways of interrupting or intercepting messages?
Even the unseen would be the best for that. It's possible that he's here completely without any connection to this, which is in its own way interesting.
Fucking terrifying. That if they haven't even linked him to me, but there's a copy of him.
It's something we can't handle.
Yes. Artemis,
Hmm.
when you perceived him, did he have any markings or such that would separate him from Maxim?
Out of character. Did he?
Out of character, he was wearing very different clothing, but that can be changed. But he also had a different haircut to Maxim. You didn't see any kind of jewelry around his wrist, but he did look to have tattoos around on his arms.
Alright. He, different haircut, different clothing, he had tattoos around his arms.
Ways to distinguish him from his other. You all can remember that, yes?
If I'm truly worried about not recognizing Maxim, I could just cut him right now. The wound won't heal by the time that we are done with this.
Please don't.
You wouldn't feel it.
I think I might.
Don't mock the merchandise, Serenity. He ain't yours.
Aurelius
Is that
kind of
implying that
narrows
you've
his
already marked him
eyes.
Uh-huh.
Can we continue, please?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
When are the others gonna find out the groupings?
Before we have them set out. They're aware that I'll be waking them early in the morning.
Does this place have accommodations where we can rest?
It does, yes. Would y'all like to rest together?
If possible.
He nods.
So we equip ourselves with whatever we can get here, with what Crazy's doing and with whatever else we can get, and take off early tomorrow morning.
Sounds good. You are all in agreement?
Serenity nods.
Artemis will nod.
Idea.
And Fidget will nod as well.
Zark.
Sorry, I was getting stuff. Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. I was getting iced coffee. I'm sorry.
You're fine. I just wanted to make sure that you were good with it and that I wasn't pushing on without you. So yeah, you all say yes. He gives a nod, and he sends you on your way. Before he does so, you do note that he takes the markings on the map and he moves a few of them around before the door opens.
Okay. Can I memorize where the markings now are?
I'd say that you can do so, yeah.
Okay. And she's going to go back to her workshop, the workshop with Crazy.
Artemis?
Yeah.
Can we talk really quick?
Okay, follow me.
How concise she is. She'll follow her.
Just leading you to the workshop.
I don't know. I mean, I just love how concise it is. It's like, sure, follow me. Just like the.
She's got shit to do. Not a lot of time.
I got shit to do, bitches. To
I'm on a
kick.
fucking clock.
Let's go.
I got shit to make. And she'll just start working on the thing again. She's like, go on, I'm listening.
Hey.
You mentioned earlier in the carriage ride. This was
That I'm in love with
confusing
you?
to me. She stops talking, and you still see the blush, but it's like the preening of just like, yay. Other than that, you mentioned earlier you were heading to the what did they call it? Basically, where they paraded her around and decided what they were going to do to Fidget. That I should tell you everything that was on my mind? I think is what you said, something along those lines?
I don't remember. But go on.
I don't know if this is the right way to say it, or if I'm just being an idiot, or if I'm worrying too much, or
Say it.
I don't want anything unsaid between us.
Then say it.
She'll just kiss her fucking temple.
I've already told you I'm in love with you.
I'm aware, but saying that and saying I love you is two very.
I don't know if it's because we speak two different languages.
We
But they have
do.
fairly similar meanings. But I will say, being in love with someone is a little deeper than loving them.
Suppose I don't.
But I
know.
suppose it has to do with more of your romantic trauma than mine.
I don't like how perceptive you are sometimes.
I think you forget how perceptive I am sometimes.
Probably.
It's courtesy not to point it out, but it's okay. I can wait for you.
She smiles. You wouldn't have to wait long.
It's okay. I've got all the time in the world for you.
She actually does turn redder. Have fun. I
Okay.
will see you tonight.
She kind of tilts her cheek up to her and kind of taps it.
She will tilt her head slightly and just kiss her.
Thank you.
She nods and she heads out. Complete different fucking behavior entirely. Fuck Silvertongue. Who is Silvertongue? He doesn't exist.
Anonymous will
Do I see
continue
Tank?
working in the workshop with Crazy, who Serenity just did all of that in front of.
yeah, she completely forgot his existence. Don't worry, it'll click in about an hour.
Huh? Who's there? Pulls up the goggles. Oh, you brought a friend. Hi.
Oh, she's walking out.
Bye. She seems nice.
As
She's
soon
very
as
nice.
as soon as she hears them say bye, it's like, she fucking walks faster.
What was that about?
Oh, she doesn't like that she loves me.
Why wouldn't she like that she loves you? You're very lovable.
She flusters easily. It's very cute.
Oh my goodness, do you make her blush?
Yes.
Oh, these are more for me later.
Oh my god.
I like hearing that people are happy.
Yes, she is very cute when she's happy.
Yeah, it's good. Now, let's see. Let me grab this, and he pulls out just a slab of wood, and he's just like, all right, let's get to work. pauses.
It's
All right,
two by
I
four.
need to.
Not yet.
I need to work on this invisibility thing
Oh.
for Fidget.
Oh yeah, I put some notes on it while you were
Ooh.
in the meeting. Yeah, right.
Notes.
Looking it
Thank
over.
you. You know just what I like.
Yes. Looking it over very quickly, there's a few bits where you would tweak it a little because if it worked the way that Crazy has put in the notes, which is all over the place, by the way, it's very clear that he had ideas, scratched one out, wrote a different idea down. The first idea was good, but when you look at the second idea, you're like, okay, that would need to be strained first, but if you strain it to keep any chunky bits out, it could work. You actually might be able to get away with it lasting as long as you need it to. Actually, if you add this ingredient, that'll make it more potent. You start writing down the notes.
Okay. Yeah, she'll just continue working, scribbling through the notes, working on it. She's not looking up if anyone joins her while she's doing this, because she imagines that the news of the pairings are going to be spread around soon. And she could not care right now.
Gotcha.
I'm beelining for tank. I need to get out excess energy. Come here, you fuck.
He sees you coming with malicious intent, moves over to effectively what is sparring mats, and basically lets you just kind of throw hands.
And that's exactly what's happening. You're throwing hands. You are not landing anything.
You're just punching the air. Punch the air. Punch the air. The air deserves it.
Bold of you to assume I can't land hits.
You barbarians
just-
enter a spar. Who walks
I'm
out?
just being an ass.
Two barbarians enter, one leaves.
It's Aurelius. Surprise. Joking aside, Aurelius does kind of walk out just absent-mindedly. Not really. He's kind of fallen back into that wanderer mindset of he doesn't really know what to do or where to go, so he's just gonna go in a direction and see where he ends up.
Okay. Gosh, what would be best for Aurelius?
No. Not what would be best. Just what would fucking happen.
What would happen?
This idiot. Yeah. Because last I checked, when I walked down the street, what was best for me didn't happen.
I mean, being fair, I generally go with Aurelius is going somewhere alone. What is the funniest thing to happen?
Last time you went alone, you lost your limbs!
No, that was him going on a mission alone. That's a very different thing.
Last time I went alone, I got real drunk.
Yep.
That was fun.
Okay. As you kind of go past the hand-to-hand sparring area, you see again those different kind of weapons that have the shifting to them. The ones that go from the sword to the pole arm. And you see one where it's like a short sword that they kind of snap out and turn into like a bladed whip, as well as one that looks to be just a normal cane used as a just fencing club, and then kind of taken and like shaken. And you know that it's like on TikTok where the guy has the cane, then they snap it down and it just turns into this serrated blade.
The bloodborne weapon.
Yeah, effectively it's that. It's just shing, and it's just serrated. It's like, okay, that's cool. And as you're walking by,
So
okay.
Basically, he's walking past and just being like, that's a lot of trick weapons.
Yep. One of them, as you're watching, there's a person who's like swinging. It looks to be like more of a rapier type sword. And as they kind of disengage for a second, they put it back into the sheath and draw it back out as their sheath locks in place and is swung around, basically like a big baseball bat, almost just whoosh, bam. Like they're clunky with it, but it's interesting. It is a lot of trick weapons.
He's just kind of narrowing his eyes at that one, like, fuck kind of use does that? He doesn't say that, but like, it seems like just like the most out of place combination of fighting styles he's ever seen. Says the person trying to one-hand a greatsword.
Yep.
Mm,
You see, there are a few people who are like holding great swords and like walking around with them on one shoulder, but it's very clearly they're using it as a strength test. They're not actually like wielding them one-handed. They're trying to, get accustomed to the weight.
Mm.
You also see that Fidget has made their way to where people are practicing with the weapons. So Fidget is on the dance floor as well.
He's gonna watch this. This is gonna be good.
Fidget, as you move and you ask the locket if there's any help they can give.
Mm-hmm. Just anything, please. While at the same time practicing her movements in a very precise way with her sword.
Of course.
Is it still glowing?
It's still got the glow, yeah.
Oh, that's gonna draw attention. Okay.
It's not like a bright or a deep glow. It's just got a faint red
but
glow
still.
because it's, as far as you can tell, it's probably night out. It's not in the moonlight, so it's not the glow bright enough to be seen in the dark, but it's illuminated this area that enough people, some people kind of look at it and kind of give it a little, that's weird.
No.
That's interesting.
No, I was asking because before we left the tavern in the morning, it was glowing.
Yes. One of the people actually kind of noticed it and gives them a nod. It's just like, is it? The whole new moon, not the new moon, the lunar eclipse thing, causing your sword to give a little funkiness to you.
It does this every time I'm out in the moonlight. Actually.
Well, you're not in the moonlight right now, are you?
No, I don't know how to explain that.
Lunar eclipse. The moon's bright out and it's bathing the city in red. Looks like the whole place is covered in a bloodbath.
Not ominous at all, huh?
Oh no, not at all. I'm sure it'll pass in a few days and you'll be fine. Maybe. Give a wink.
It's like if I can get to those days, we're good.
Well, here's hoping. As the person kind of departs, you hear the voice come back. I have a second question for you.
And I have an answer, probably.
Are you powerful?
She takes a moment before saying just very quickly, yes.
Good. Then do not give your strength to those undeserving. You are one who has flickers of anger. I've been with you long enough to know that. And there's the one. Do not give him your power. He is undeserving.
Aurelius, who's, since Dark said he's watching, will see there be just a little pause in Fidget's movements as she takes in the words that were said to her before going back.
Just a short little pause, reassessing of things, thoughtfulness.
And then she'll just kind of, there's a heavy sigh in her head so he can hear it just going, I'm working on him not being able to push those buttons anymore.
I'm not saying that it will be immediate. But when you bend, he reaches through the cracks and he pulls.
He finds the weak points in people very quickly. And he knew that was a sore subject.
He has many hands with which to pry. I understand that logic all too well.
They call him Silver Tongue for a reason.
They call him Silvertongue because they believe that he can talk his way out of any scenario. I'd like to see him talk his way out of his death.
A small smile spreads across Fidget's lips as suddenly she just does a very quick, jab forward with her sword, going, if I can help that happen, I'll happily do it.
Not now. He's still valuable. But eventually he won't be. You...
Once I'm done here, I don't even want to think about him anymore.
You determine how valuable he is and whether or not you will keep him around. Especially with that weave over him.
You see it too.
No, I see more than you. It is not a insult to what you can see. You can see the mundane.
I'm saying that Serenity was saying something was attached to him too.
I'm not even talking about that, dear. I saw that. I dismissed it immediately. It's not my concern. I'm talking about the magic intertwined around him that is pulling him apart.
Laughing fits.
Yes. Unnaturally so. But that is the only piece I can give you at the moment. I still have one more question to consider.
When you're ready, I'm here.
And I will watch and see how this goes. Fair?
Fair.
Good. Get back to it. Your friend is watching.
She'll finally look over at Aurelius and kind of motion with her head going, come on.
Aurelius pulls out the crossbow.
Put it down!
Fidget will stare at him before putting her sword back on her hip going, you fired that at me. And this group
I'm not going to I'm not going to fire you. I'm not going to fire it at you.
You Serenity.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do?
He brings it forward. And he shows how slow it is to reload the thing. Do you have any quicker ways?
Well,
Is there anyone around?
As he asks that, a woman steps up and says, well now, can I take a look?
He raises a brow.
The woman is one of the women who you had seen last session. The woman who is dressed in very dark kind of clothing and was practicing with one of the more finesse weapons.
She might know more than I do, because I don't know how to wield that thing. I think I got a lucky shot the one time I used it.
If you're trained in it, nothing to luck. May I?
Aurelius kind of looks back at Fidget and then reluctantly hands over the weapon.
Takes it, kind of gives a little heft. Ooh, heavier variety. Holds it up and just kind of looks down the sight after taking out the crossbow bolt so it doesn't, go anywhere. Pulls the trigger a few times, nods for a second, aims again. Don't have the heavier version, but I do have a light version, one that'll be more amenable to your need for a bit more speed on that. If you want, I can take you over and show you.
If you're willing.
Walks away and basically just kind of takes Aurelius over and sets down the heavy crossbow on the table and motions to another person who is just kind of like working on a few different things. I need the repeating one. Give me it. Guy kind of looks and just like, yeah, man, gotcha. reaches over and pulls out a light repeating crossbow. Puts it on the table. She pulls it out and looks it over. Looks down the sight, nods for a second, turns around. Want to try your hand at this?
He accepts the weapon, and he probably notices the weight shift.
Yeah.
And then his brain is like, fuck, I have to adjust to this now.
Yeah, it's a difference of like 13 pounds. Like the heavy crossbow is it is called a heavy crossbow because it is heavy. This one, it has a lesser range clearly, but it's like as you kind of look it over, it's like it's got like a little thing on the bottom to socket something in, and they pull out a few of them and they offer it to you, and they seem to have had the crossbow bolts put into them. It is a light repeating crossbow where you put it in. It has 6 shots per. I can actually link you to the item so you can see it. Put it in your notes and whatnot. I don't know if you have the thingadabob for putting it into D&D Beyond, but this way you can at least have the notes to know what it does and know that it does take a full action to reload. So you get 3 turns of just bang, 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 1 action to reload, and repeat.
Okay. So, is there like any targets around he can?
There are, yes. It's effectively like a shooting range, yeah.
So what she sees him do is he takes a step forward and draws the great sword with his one hand, and then with his left hand aims to fire the bolt, so that he gets used to that kind of stance.
Using it one-handed will be difficult because it is a two-handed weapon, but it is something that you can attempt to stance with. If you attempt to do that for too long, she will ask, would you like a hand crossbow instead, or are you looking to keep on with that?
He thinks about it. Yeah, a hand crossbow.
Takes it from you, swaps it out for a hand crossbow. Same details, just with a hand crossbow instead of a light crossbow. Didn't catch your name. Or what name do you go by, rather?
I've had many over the years, he says, firing his first bolt. Today, I am the Renegade.
The Renegade. Goodness, adding an extra little tidbit to it. Breathe. You're gonna miss the target fully if you aren't focusing on that.
I know a thing or two about that.
Not saying you
He fires again.
Not bad. Doing better. They call me Dusk. Pleasure's mine. If you need anything geared up for you, I know the people here and I can get you hooked up with what you need.
I'll keep that in mind. He puts the hand crossbow to his side and returns the greatsword to his back. This will do nice.
Good. Don't forget your crossbow bolts. Just wait till they finish firing down the range. Don't want someone to try and shoot you and hit you in the leg.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Wouldn't be the last time. But we'd all prefer you in fighting shape.
He kind of smiles. If you had seen the states I've fought in, then you wouldn't be saying that.
We'll see. She walks over and walks up to Fidget. That friend of yours, he's got a northern accent, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
He'd be a looker if he kept that smile on his face more. It's a beaming sort of thing, but tries to look all stoic and stern. A
To
man
be
should know
fair,
better.
that's the look he kind of had when we met, so you know.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying that he's got a good smile.
You taking a liking to the renegade?
Not that way. I'm enjoying it. He's easy on the eyes. Let's
I
just
see
see
him
if...
as the annoying brother.
Well, you can see him however you want. I want to see him in battle and see if he's worth the time. Because if he can't fight, well, I'll break him. Shrugs and walks away.
Fidget is doubled over laughing. She'll look up at Aurelius and then point and start laughing more.
Pointing
At this-
him. Yeah.
At this point, Aurelius looks over. He's like, "All right, what did I do this time?"
she said she's gonna. Oh God, Aurelius, what did you do?
I've done a lot of things. You're gonna have to be more specific.
With her,
I just
and she'll
spoke.
point over at desk.
All right. On that
We
note,
just
sorry.
talked.
On that
We just
note,
talked, and I got one of these.
And Fidget's almost on the floor laughing now.
Do I hear the fucking
yes,
laughter?
without question, you hear it.
Serena just looks over, holds up her finger to tank like mid-punch, I imagine.
He stops.
For fucking see what the fuck Fidget is on the floor about.
Just pointing at Aurelius and laughing.
What the hell is she laughing so hard about?
Question about the hand crossbow. Is it just a normal hand crossbow?
It is a
Or is it
repeating
like
one. This
yeah,
one,
but if I was to put it,
yeah, it's a normal one. You just put a normal hand crossbow. This the hand crossbow does fire 4 bolts, not 6. Just so you're aware.
yeah, all right. I've already taken that mental note.
Yeah.
You've basically given Aurelius a revolver.
Yes,
Huh?
a 4-cylinder revolver.
Yeah.
Fun.
Fidget,
But
would you like to breathe?
Fidget at this time is just kind of ended up on her back, looking up at the ceiling, catching her breath, going, Aurelius has an admirer
My God.
who wants
this
to
point-
break him. She wants
At
to
this-
break him.
At this point, Aurelius narrows his eyes.
She wants.
It's gonna be
He
a
says
long
he
day.
has a wonderful smile. He should do
Fuck
it more
off.
often.
He hasn't smiled once. How does she know?
He
Still has
smiled
that
at her,
sour-
apparently.
Oh.
He's pulling out the crossbow and firing aggressively.
On that note, I'll say that we'll be transitioning to the morning, but we're going to take a quick break.
Shall
Just
I
use
change it
restroom
to
and stuff
night
like that.
music?
Yeah, just some spectrum music. 1 second. We'll be right back. Go use the restroom.
Back.
I'll be back in just a moment.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta go run off to do that. Be right back.
Man is himbo incarnate.
What race is Dusk? Was that mentioned?
I don't know, actually. I know Dawn is VRB, so...
Yeah. because it looks like I got myself an armorer.
A what? Oh, an armor. I was trying to figure out what the fuck words you said.
Sorry, my Australian kicked in.
There's a fucking cat on my leg. Hello.
Hand it over.
It's mine! No!
When you guys are ready, Comp wants us to let him know. And voice chat.
Okay. Also, there's no viable way that Serenity is not fucking making fun of Aurelius for not noticing yet another paramour.
Oh, I don't know if they've realized that part at all.
No, Aurelius knows. He just doesn't want.
No.
Hey,
I'm
they can hear you
responding.
talking.
Yeah, they heard all of that. The stream can hear, and it's going to be in the recording.
Yeah.
I regret nothing.
But yeah, just go ahead and let them know that you're ready when you guys are ready.
I've been ready since 1845.
My
Yeah,
brother in Christ, are
everyone
you a
can take it.
vampire?
Yep. Get her done.
I love how just ready you was to say that. Yep.
Zark, just type ready.
Oh, I have to type that shit?
And
Close enough.
Daddy.
you're an ass.
I am
We've established
your...
this.
Look, I am the ass of this group. If I'm not, then someone else has to be. And I don't think they do as good of a job.
I don't know why I thought he was going to say I am the ass of Australia, and I'm like, stop.
No. No. Just because we're the land down under doesn't mean we're going to make those jokes, okay?
All right, we're back.
The stream's going to have a good time with that.
God fucking damn it.
I committed a war crime.
Stop committing war crimes.
Did you say what race Dusk was?
Dusk is a my mind completely flew out the window for a second. I apologize. I was like, I have
Ringo Burr.
Earth Genasi.
Earth Genasi, alright.
Oh, I thought she was the one that I played.
No, not your Dusk.
I didn't play at dusk.
Didn't play at Dusk?
Have you played Dawn?
Yes.
No, I just thought
Oh
her
my God.
nickname changed.
I understand now.
No, I played in Ashes.
Mm-hmm. Ashes. So, we're starting at next morning.
Yes. So, it is technically just before morning.
Gonna add in my
Sorry.
notes for what the her new cloak does.
Yep.
He's not happy to be awake.
You are not happy to be awake, but the other members of the group, the Fidget's group, are there waiting for you. And based off the fact that they look to be aware,
Leave me be, feline.
there is a look between them all of bounciness. They're ready to go.
Like an anxiety, but not like the bad anxiety,
Yes.
if that makes sense.
It
Yeah.
does, yes.
Yeah.
So that we were all equipped with the spies murmurs as
Yes,
well.
you were given Spies Murmurs before you guys went to bed. Crazy gave them to you. Granted,
Okay,
he didn't
making
give them
sure
to
that I
you. He didn't give them to you like outright. He had them in a box, and he just said, "Van Sterling told me to give these to you," and he slides it to you. Clearly, meant to be slightly secretive about it, but those who know will know.
Okay, making sure I attune it to my
Yes.
character. Thank you.
Of course, you are all able to attune to it. You have the time. No worries there.
Yeah, knocked over my water.
Bastard.
And I know.
It has a
We
cap.
now
It's
all
Oh.
have ways of communicating with each other even after this now because of the spies' murmurs.
Correct.
Thank God.
You're welcome.
So, each of them motion and get into their selected pairing. Silvertongue like looking up at Velinor, squinting at him, just kind of walking along. Aurelius, Jinx is not here yet. Appears to be running a little late. Midnight is just kind of next to Artemis, just going, all right, so I think if we go that way, no, we gotta want to go that way, no. First way? Second way? I'll figure it out. Serenity Razor is walking with you. Tank is already bouncing on the toes and looking at you like, we go fast.
We go fast, all group back together, big guy.
And he just gives you a toothy, slightly manic smile.
Oh God.
And Maxim like
He's
looks
been
to,
unleashed.
yeah, Maxim looks to Ember, and Ember kind of just like, I don't. Maxim's just like, I do. I'll take care of that bit. Don't worry. Okay. You do? Why do you? Looks to Fidget, points to Maxim like, him? What? How? What? Confused.
Fidget just smiles over at Maxim going, you're full of surprises, that big guy.
Taps the side of his nose. I didn't show my face all the time.
You're gonna be a taller version of me, aren't you?
No.
I'm gonna hate you for it.
No, I'm not going to be a taller version of you. I'm going to look exactly like you. It's just that if anyone swings above your head, they're going to hit me in the face.
If it happens, let me know.
Okay. Why?
I want to see
I
how
gotta
bad
write
you
it
get hit.
down. Yeah.
If both of the tanks looked at him and went, we want to see how bad it is.
Hardy har har. And you are
Can I
effectively...
do a cinematic moment?
Sure.
As Fidget's standing next to Tank, she pulls her scarf up and pulls her hood up, and at the same time pulling one of the strings of her armor, and you all just see a void in her, where her face was in her cloak, and two red eyes staring out at you guys as smoke billows from her.
Hold on, we look spooky.
That's the idea.
Now that is a devil.
A Victus in the back of the head. Bitch!
No, he's like, I'd be offended, but that's a look. I like that look. That's a good look. Your girl
Yeah,
got
We're not
Fidget
getting
pissed.
that look.
Yeah.
She got
Fidget
pissed.
looks up at Tank, going, "It worked for me, big guy.
Good.
Think I could be as scary
That cool
as you
next.
He grins. Maybe.
now?" He'll elbow his side.
Still Fidget. Still.
That was all I wanted to do.
Of course, no worries. And as you guys move to slightly different positions as the other people form themselves with disguise self into Fidget with the smoke and such. As you guys are making your way out, there's a knock on the door when you go up into the upper side, since you guys were underground for this part. When you guys go up, you guys hear like a knocking. And there's a knock, knock, knock. And you see a person like peek through the slit, close it, and open the door as Jinx walks in. They kind of look around, see you, and kind of pause, and they kind of hold up a finger as they look at all of the different Fidgets, just like, oh no, oh no.
You're very late.
Good luck.
Artemis kind of tucks down with her scarf over her mouth and her hood up as she's working on another thing.
Gotcha. Jinx will cast Disguise Self, looking like one of the fidgets. Again, kind of just looking between everyone like, jeez, this is so many eyes. All glowing.
One of us needs to go home and change.
You stole my drip! But Jinx does not have time to speak as Falcon nods you on and says, get moving! Go, go! Jinx like holds the finger, kind of pauses, like as the rest of the group takes off, just everyone scattering, with Aurelius being the person left behind to kind of motion for him to follow. Do you do so? Just for clarification.
Aurelius puts the sword on his back, gets that crossbow at his side, just like making sure that it's easy enough to grab, pulls the hood up and follows.
And
Dramatic cloak flip in the wind.
Ah, good. And Jinx will follow.
Wait, where's the wind coming from?
There is an ocean breeze, so there's enough wind to pick that up and make it look cinematic as fuck as you all scatter. It's only so much time before dawn rolls in. I would like you all to pick numbers between 1 and 8. No one can have the same number. Type it into
Do you want us to put it in the roll 20?
Please and thank you. Yes.
Done.
1 and 8?
Yes. Aurelius is going to square 6. Kendall's going to square 7. Fidge is going to square 8. Paris is going to square 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Which means that the others will be going to roll a d8. Roll d8. Cool. That means that the only place that is not gone to is square 5. Got it. So, 1, 2 are taken care of. Paris, you are running along with Razor. Razor is the one who is Disguise Self. And as they're moving along, they glance to you, looking around and whatnot. See anyone coming on us yet?
Do I?
Make a perception check.
Wow.
Yes. You do see that there are a few. They're not coming after you so much as they're like starting to peek up as the sunlight is coming across the city, and people who are stationed not on every rooftop, but like on a few different rooftops in a few different places. There are a few people kind of starting to like wake up, perk up. They don't seem to be out of place. There's a few other people who look like they probably have been there for a while, but there's a few others who have that glint to their eye of people who are more vicious. A few other people who are seated in various areas where they're slowly shifting and noting your passing as you guys zip past.
Serena will point out any of them as subtly as she can.
Okay. They will nod. At this current time, there's not enough civilians out to kind of hunker down and hide behind. Think we go to the alleys, keep on the main road, or see if we can bring a few of them along with us. Try and get them to follow.
Alice is probably the better option. They're going to trail regardless.
Understood. Left or right? Quick.
Left.
Like slams his foot into the cobblestone and just sharp left, ducks into the alley, starts moving.
She follows.
There's no aggression yet, but you know that people have seen you, and that people will recognize the ominous visage of red glowing eyes and smoke. It is a look, to be sure, and is one that they will be able to point out or say that they can point out. And so they likely, I will say that Fidget has done a good job of making it so that because of how very much a look that people can recognize it is, they will probably be able to trail a little bit further behind, thinking that they can just ask where they've seen such people and won't realize that there's going to be wires crossed at some point. They don't know yet. But they are, Brazier is running with you, and for the moment, you're not really trying to be stealthy. You are trying to be loud and draw attention. And so far, you're doing a good job. That brings us to number 6, Aurelius. You are running with Jinx. As you are running with Jinx, you're looking around, keeping an eye out on things, and as Jinx is running next to you, they kind of look around as well, just like, boy, this is... wasn't expecting all that back there. What was that all about?
Several different war crimes, the works. On your left.
Looks to the left. Sees you, kind of realizes, oh. Yeah, I see you're there. Don't worry, I'm keeping an eye out. Where do you think they're going to show up?
Well, they're likely watching us from above, he says as he looks up.
Make a perception check.
Hold on, let me use my elf eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had to call them
It's
elf
too
eyes.
bright, damn it.
It is a little bright as the sun hits your eyes. You're like, squinting your eyes, just being like, this, damn it. It's too bright.
They could be following us from behind, but it'll be more likely that they're doing that when crowds grow, if I'm to believe the word of Silver, whatever, I forget his name.
Silver Tongue
I
Van
don't,
Sterling.
Aurelius does.
Those are two different... Oh, yeah, Van Sterling. You said Van Sterling. Van Sterling? Oh, well, that makes sense. See if they can see any better than you. A little bit, not by much. Well, that much is easy and whatnot. So, where are we heading?
Aurelius just starts heading in the direction he remembers from the map.
Gotcha.
Doesn't say it.
Hey, Bob, come on, fucking... You're just as bad as Babyface is. Come on.
Babyface had a lot to say about you.
Terrible things, I'm sure.
Things that'll be useful. Let's move.
Oh, did she now? Alright, well, come on, show me the way. Follows after you. Kendall, you are moving with Midnight. Midnight moves gracefully, but there is a very clear similarity to the way you've seen Fidget move before. After, you'd say about half an hour, they move to a pace that is slightly more mundane, slightly slower, not quite as quick as they look around, taking at a much slower pace, a much more dangerous kind of pace as they look around from it. All right, so we're definitely going to be followed, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I think we stick to the main roads and act like we're just perusing and whatnot, make them think that they haven't been seen and such, like we're trying to slink around and whatnot, and then take to Bolton after about half an hour, 15 minutes.
Do you think she would act that way?
I think she'd act like she was expecting someone to jump out and fight her, but she'd be trying to be coy about it. She was always good at keeping on her toes in a way where she was always ready for a fight even when there wasn't one to be had.
Okay, I do have to warn you. I'm not good at fighting.
You're not?
I am good at lighting things on fire.
By the way, just so you guys know, I will be using the characters' accents rather than the Fidget accent they're all trying to mimic, just so you guys know who you're talking to. Just say, no.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
She kind of leans in to Midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy is my brother,
You know, that makes a lot of
if
sense.
that gives you any idea.
Alright, well, if it comes right down to it, set them on fire is a good plan.
Okay.
I like that plan. Setting them on fire is a great plan. Let's just keep moving. Don't act like we're planning nothing. We're just keeping an eye out, trying to be, inconspicuous, ready for a fight, but ready to run the fuck away at the moment's notice. You get me?
Yeah.
And they will continue down. And there's very clearly more people seeming to be in this area to be more on the ground. The roofs in the area you're going to are softer with more not thatch, more like almost brush and whatnot. Which brings us to Fidget.
Yes.
You are moving with Tank. And I'm guessing it's hitting the stones hard, just moving.
Moving, but making sure that she is seen
In
at the
open,
same
yeah.
time.
Yep.
And
Yep.
about half an hour into it,
Mm-hmm.
when she is sure enough people have seen her,
Mm-hmm.
she's going to quickly move into an alleyway nearby,
Mm-hmm.
pull on the string to turn off the smoke,
Mm-hmm.
lower her hood and her scarf,
Mhm.
and grin up at Tank going, "Let's go for a walk."
Okay. And they pull down their hood and they just kind of like fully take off the cowl and just kind of shove it into a pack and put on like a bit more of like a vest almost, just like throws it over, holds out an arm as though he's like escorting a young woman.
She'll happily take it, and when they exit the alley, she's got a smile on her face and looking very different than she did when she entered.
I'll say roll a deception check at advantage.
At advantage, okay. $24.
Tank is right up there with you with a 22. As you guys make your way in, as people begin to make their way out, calling out for the wares and such as that. A pleasant day for all of them, unaware of the covert operations going on with everyone else. So far, you all are doing well. Going through the numbers again. Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Razor will turn to you as the hour is up and the disguise self drops. He will ask you, should we wait a little bit before we make her seen again? Or do you think that this will be good enough to start with?
It can't hurt to lay out a little bit more bait.
Disguise self is up. Second first level spell dropped, and he will move with you again. Make another perception check. I'll say with advantage because you had an idea where they were before.
Okay.
With that, you're able to keep track of a few of them. You know that there's probably more out there who are still following, but there's a few that you can more clearly see who, as you guys move into the thoroughfare of people, it is going to become harder for them to just follow you from the rooftop without making more of a scene than walking through the streets amongst people, but even that is a more difficult and daunting task. I'll say roll a... You're proficient with stealth, yes?
No.
Roll a charisma check. No. What? This is the wrong sheet. Where the fuck are you? There's Razor. Hi, Razor.
Hello.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
You're welcome. I hope the PowerPoint was okay.
It works very well, thank you. So for the moment, you guys are, it's less like you're trying to blend in so much as you're trying to act as though you are trying to not be seen well enough that they're not yet suspicious of what is going on. It appears Razor is doing a good job so far as you are drawing them more over towards the docks in your area.
Alright.
Which brings us from 3, 4, 5, 6. Aurelius.
So, which district of the city are we in?
You have moved more towards the merchants district, where there's a lot of people calling out stuff. It's very noisy, very loud, very much some place that you can kind of get lost in or that you can lose someone in.
Okay. So, as he's keeping a close watch on the sun, and as it reaches the hour mark, he pushes Jinx into an alley.
Yeah!
Your disguise, it's wearing off.
Yeah, right.
Let it wear off, I got a plan.
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna do something that I didn't expect myself to do.
What is your passive perception?
Passive is 12.
12. Okay. As you are looking around, there's a moment, corner of your eye, you see Jinx move their hand, and there's a faint flicker. For a brief second, you see them, their face shifts from Fidget to Jinx to a half-orc, back to Jinx. It's a brief second, but they appear to be adjusting what appeared to be a little hat on their head.
Aurelius narrows his eyes. And then he wants to say something, but figures if he does, it's going to jeopardize everything else. So he holds his tongue.
Okay.
And he says, I'm going to cause a distraction. You get your disguise up as soon as you can. And he walks out into the street, and he wants to look like a pickpocket. A cut purse.
Are you going to actively cut purse?
He might, like, it's actually funny. He whispers to himself as he walks out. He's like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I promised myself I'd never do this. And he, breaking the mold of a paladin, is rolling a sleight of hand.
Yep. So you reach in and you're able to, you find yourself surprised by the fact that you are currently holding someone else's coin purse in your hand. As you walk away, and you kind of look at it just like, huh.
Okay. He kind of, it really is a look of surprise. Like, huh, I thought that someone would notice at this point. So what he does is he goes, oops, drops the purse to make the sound,
Ting, ding,
to draw attention to him.
A few people look around. One person kind of looks down, sees it. Hey!
There we go. And then he bolts off and draws attention while Jinx is preparing again.
Yep. And as you run off, you hear them like shouting, "Hey, guards! Guards!" as you run off, and you can see that a few of the people kind of like perk up and are trying to follow you, guessing you're trying to cause a distraction, but trying to see if there's a point where you will reconvene, or they haven't yet caught on that you are a distraction. Not yet.
Okay. And as he is running, he will cast darkness as he gets into an alleyway, and then try to slip away into a building.
Okay. You cast darkness and you slip away. You can hear the guards outside, and then all of a sudden they're just boom, and you hear them going, "Hey, who turned on the lights?" Just a lot of people just very much confused, very not expecting, 30-foot diameter sphere of darkness covering most of the entire alleyway, as well as a lot of the buildings' fronts and whatnot. So there's more than a few people who are like, ah! A lot of noise and whatnot, which gives you enough time to quickly. You said you were ducking into a building.
He was going to duck into a building and make his way to the rooftops so that he could try to crossbow his way through collective them.
Okay. So you make your way up and you kind of get to I'd say a slight vantage point. With the darkness, I'll say that you've managed to elude them for the most part. Roll me a stealth check with advantage.
With advantage.
With advantage.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
All right, let's see how this goes.
So you make your way up and you open the thing up and you step out, close it behind you, and as you turn around, you see a person jump onto the roof like right in front of you. They look up, they point up at you like, "Hey!" What do you do?
And before they can do anything else, he's going to just quick draw the crossbow and basically, I want to say fan the hammer, if that makes sense.
You're going to fire twice.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But he's aiming for their knees.
You're trying to shoot him in the leg.
To slow them down.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fire twice.
So first roll to hit.
That'll hit.
Second roll to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. And then I'll...
since both hit, I'm not needing damage for this. I'm going to see if they can succeed on a con save to stay on the roof or if they fall.
If they look like they're going to fall, Aurelius will run forward to try and catch them.
Okay. Make a athletics check just to grab them. Because they are falling. they failed. So you run forward and in pain, falling backwards. You kind of grab him, kind of slightly just by the shoulder under the arm. It's like, what the? Look up at you.
Where are the others?
Around, really. They're coming in from all sides. You know it is. Ah, my leg. You shot me in the. Fair.
He's going to.
Yep.
He's going to break his leg.
Oh,
where?
Shit! I sent him all over her.
That's not a good enough answer. And he holds him over the edge.
Oh,
His eyes start, shifting color.
What's your AC?
My AC?
Yeah.
13 at the moment.
So you hear a shot past the back of your neck. You kind of turn as you get hit. It's in the left arm, so it doesn't. There's a spark of pain, but it's in your artificial arm, and another one that hits you slightly in the thigh. You will be taking some damage here.
Yep.
9 from the first hit, 5 from the second. As you see,
So
three
that's
of
a
the people...
total of 14?
Yes.
Yep.
As you see 3 other members jumping across the rooftops who have taken aim and shot at you. And they're closing in quick enough, but they're clearly having to move through difficult terrain, which is the incline of the rooftop, to make their way to you.
Okay. So what he's going to do is then draw his greatsword. And how does the roof look below him? Does it look like if he was to slam into it with a greatsword, it would kind of shuffle out of place and fall down? Yeah.
Very possibly. You're still holding on to the other guy, or unless you let go of him.
Is there anything below that he could feasibly safely land on?
Not in the alley, no. I mean, there's a few
All right.
boxes that might break his fall, but it'll break his fall hard.
Okay.
He'd be alive.
All right, that's good enough for Aurelius. So that's exactly what he's gonna do. Would I have to aim that? Or is it just a drop?
I'll say you just drop him because it's against the
All
side
right.
of the wall, so it'll be more likely if you just drop him down.
Yeah. So he's gonna do that, and he's gonna pull one of the crossbow bolts out. I assume it's a crossbow that hit him, yeah?
Yes.
Or was it an arrow?
It was crossbow.
He's gonna pull it. He's gonna pull it out of him, and then use it to load the bolt, or like put it in the quiver at his side as he draws the great sword. And then he's going to cast Wrathful Smite.
Oh.
On the blade, and on the roof, so that when they land, they're losing balance.
Okay. For that, I'll say just roll me the great sword's damage.
Okay.
You're not needing.
I'm
to roll
still
the hit.
casting it, so
I know. It's causing a certain imagery as well. That's a spicy damage. Oh, right. Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. So, as they jump over onto the rooftop, there's almost a wave of energy that ripples out and then pulls back around your arms as you lift the blade up and just slam it down. And there's just a burst of energy from around your sword. Energy that you've not been able to fully mess around with, but that is there, that you have recognized that you're drawing on. That just splits open part of the roof and just kind of blows it out beneath all of you. As they fall, you fall with a lot more understanding you are going to fall, which will give you time to hit the ground and start moving. What direction are you moving? Towards them or out of the building?
If the darkness is still there, he's going to roll into that.
Okay.
And then head back towards where he remembers Jinx to be.
Yep.
And then say, I think I made enough noise. Let's move.
I'll say roll another stealth check with advantage for running through the darkness. Having them lose sight of you.
No. There we go.
Okay. As far as you can tell, whoosh, you dive into the darkness and you disappear. Show up with where Jinx is, and Jinx is like looking around, and they're like tapping their side rapidly. And then when they see you, they kind of like pause. They go, "Are we on our way?"
So this is he kind of like leans against the wall, and his skin that is visible.
Yep.
The aura is stronger than it's ever been, until he like calms himself down again.
Yep.
And then he says, "Let's move."
Sheesh. I'm going, I guess. Let's go. He'll start to kind of lead the way, kind of glancing back at you every now and then. He is looking again like
he actually sees Aurelius look back at the destruction he's caused, and a bit of regret cross his face, but it's quickly dismissed, and then he keeps going.
Gotcha. Which moves us back over to Kendall. You're moving with Midnight, who is, again, keeping more of the kind of step of someone who is expecting someone around them, but not running. A lot more of a leisurely kind of walk. Someone on the town, but ready to be jumped at any moment. Is there anything you wish to do?
Can I get a look around?
Make a perception check.
Boo. 13.
With a 13, you look around and you're aware enough that people will be following you. You see a few people who are being a little less inconspicuous about it, a lot more noting you guys moving around and kind of leaning in forward a little bit more. We'll get to that, Aurelius, don't worry. As you're doing so, there's a moment where, as you're looking around, you just kind of feel a hand on the small of your back, kind of just leading you on just a smidge faster. Not vastly, but just a smidge. Oh, they're starting to move. We're going.
We're going.
No, they're coming. Some of them are starting to think they can catch us here. You want to move into the crowd? You want to move towards things that are a bit more flammable?
Flammable.
This way, and he turns and he heads off towards a bit more of the thatched roofs. It's slightly more towards the forest side of Wavebreak, where there are more bits of like leaves and such on different roofs and whatnot. Not homes, more of small establishments and such like that. And there's definitely a reason to go this way as well, because those softer roofs people can't jump from roof to roof on, like the ones where Aurelius is, where if you hear a distant doof, a passing thing, only lasts for a moment. But you also notice that some of the people are making their way, trying to catch up with you. What do you do?
Are we near the flammable thing?
Yes. You are indeed.
She's gonna pull out her white phosphorus,
Oh no.
throw a little bit on it, and cast firebolt.
Okay, so you dust a little bit, and this thing erupts through flame, and it catches fire and spreads pretty quickly. As you quickly turn and start to move, you probably fire the firebolt as you've moved a little bit away. I will roll real quick. Yep. There's a few people who stumble out of the alley near where it is, as the immediate flash of fire blinds a few of them, to give you guys a couple seconds of smoke screen as you begin to run. As you're doing so, Midnight kind of glances to you, re-upping the disguise as they run, and they're just like, I didn't know you could do that. That's something. Woo! Oh, they are not.
You haven't seen the least that I can do.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. All right, let's see. Let's head that way. Go, and they will leave.
I'm going. Gosh, you weren't this pushy when you saved me from robbers.
Yeah, well, when I was saving you from robbers, I was allowed to do all that I could do. Here, I gotta look right, you know.
Yeah.
And besides that, you're doing better than you were with the robbers. With the robbers, they just kind of ambushed you and we're done with it. As he says,
I'm so sorry. I was in shock and in a bag.
as he says that, you see someone step out in front of you and make to grab at the two of you. And as they move to do so, let's see here. Yep. You just see Midnight just move, give him a quick slash, and shove him over, and just keep moving as the person kind of falls to the ground with this look of just like, ow. As they like, sorry, you'll be fine later. But in fidget voice. And they keep moving, and they look to you for a second, and they kind of spin a dagger on in their fingers, just like, don't worry, I got a few tricks up my sleeve too. Had to expand the repertoire.
I'm sorry, I zoned out. Who are we talking to?
Midnight is talking to you. Someone stepped out to
Okay,
try
he's
and
got a
grab you,
dagger.
and he pulled out a dagger, slashed them, and it put the person down as they were struggling to breathe.
Okay.
He didn't stab them. He's like almost more slashed them with it as he pushed them down, and he didn't seem to do like super lasting damage. But whatever it was happening with the blade caused them to currently have struggles with breathing. So they're going to be down for at least a little bit.
Artemis is gonna have one of her. It's gonna have like the blade pulled on her arm. Are we going?
We're going. Come on.
Good.
from there, we are moving to, to Fidget and Tank.
Yes.
You guys lackadaisically move your way through the street. Actually, roll some real quick.
Can Fidget see if anyone's following them?
Make a perception check.
17.
17, very good. At the moment, there's no one following you specifically, but there are people who seem to be asking, poking around, clearly looking for something, but you're able to keep just kind of having Tank lead you on and move you through. And with Tank's kind of physique, there's like a few people who might be like, hey, watch it! And Tank just kind of just shoulders them slightly out of the way, and there's a few people who like say, hey, watch it! Yeah, never mind, I'm going to just keep walking. When they note that, he's a bigger young man, but a bigger young man with an axe on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Some people stop asking questions at that point.
Yeah, Fidget is trying to make it look a very casual, almost couple strolling arm in arm.
Mm-hmm. Make another deception check. I'll say with advantage because right
regular?
now you are holding up fairly well.
So just a regular, or did you say with advantage?
With advantage, yes.
I wanted to make sure before I hit click. Damn it, it's still sent 1. Hold on.
No worries.
Can I take the nat 20?
You can take the nat 20. That was the advantage roll, yes. So, thus far, you seem to be going well. Things seem to be handling themselves nicely. So far, on your end, you've managed to slide under the radar and able to continue making your way forward. Three grid squares left.
Okay.
We're going to get to some fun bits.
Mm-hmm.
Cycling back around, Paris. Razor is still walking with you. You are still trying to make enough noise and draw enough attention to keep people looking your way. What would you like to do? You can either do something to continue to draw attention, or you can attempt to slip away and not be seen. Your choice. Or you can do something else that'll completely surprise me.
Brain is slowly just stopping. How many people do I potentially see that might be following us?
Last you checked, you saw maybe like 4 or 5. Make a perception check if you want to recount.
I also want to see if they might be trying to head us off.
Good idea. With that perception check, as you're looking around, you do note that there's a few people who are kind of just like knife tossing up ahead. Not on either side, meaning that they're not able to do a full cutoff, but more of a attack you from the side and potentially push you towards somewhere where they want you to go. Meaning that there's something probably on the right side. So they're on the left side. They probably want to try and push you towards the right side.
So keep an eye on them and kind of drift closer to them to see exactly how this might go. She will warn Razor about what they're doing before she does.
They nod.
Do I manage to pass one of them?
Yes. And you'll walk by without issue, although a moment later you will hear them kind of pushing off of the stone of this particular area of buildings and start just kind of lackadaisically following.
I'm gonna do something as I pass them. How much bigger / smaller are they than me?
About average height. About your height, maybe a little taller.
Run into them?
You want to shoulder check them? Are you trying to like do it accidentally, air quotes, or are you trying to like shoulder check them, slam them into the wall sort of style?
I'm not trying to slam them. I'm trying to like
Bump him.
You know the accidental shoulder check that basically just fucking knocks someone over?
Make an athletics check. Just for fun. I'd say unarmed strike, but I get what you're getting at. You're trying to do a physical show of force sort of thing.
Oof.
Are they better? You shoulder check them, and the guy like as they step forward, you kind of just shoulder check them, and they actually like flop back, sit back down, and they kind of just look at you, just look like, huh? What?
I'm so sorry. She smiles and just kind of... She gives, like, the apologetic smile and waves at them. Trying to act like she doesn't know who the fuck these people are. Before she keeps walking.
Okay. Make an intimidation check. real quick.
His friend is nearby?
Yes.
Can
Unless
I
you're
accidentally
not.
step on his foot?
That also make an unarmed strike for.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, you stomp on his foot, and he's like, ow, ow, and kind of bounces and
Sorry,
steps back.
sorry.
And Razor will just kind of like put a hand on your arm and kind of tug you to pull you forward. At the rate of someone who is embarrassed for their friend.
Also, fuck it. That's about what I expected. She will fall Razor and keep an eye just in case they continue to fall, which they most likely will.
Yep. At the moment, only one of them looks to be like, he's like arguing with the other guy. He's like, nah, man, nah. Just sit down for like a little bit. But there are others who are moving in your direction. You may caused enough of a scene. I'm going to put a pin in this. I'm going to move over quickly to Artemis real quick. Artemis is going to be cutting out a little early, so I want to just quickly do their thing, if that's okay.
I'm cutting out on time.
On time, yes. Do you want me to? Yeah. That's why I'm moving over to you real quick.
Yes.
Yes, don't worry. I'm doing it with purpose. Don't worry. So Artemis, you are moving with Midnight. And you've caused a bit of fire and chaos. Nothing that would hurt anyone if they're, aware and able to get out of the fire in time, which, they should be able to do. And if they don't, that's
On them.
behind you. That's behind you. As you're moving forward, you're looking around, keeping your eyes out. Make a perception check.
$19.
19. As you're getting to an area where there's like a T cross section, where you're like moving to where you can make a left or right, sitting on one of the buildings is a hooded, cloaked figure. Ominous, very clearly there. And Midnight kind
Are
of
they looking in my direction?
they're looking in both your direction, yes. As
Do I have anything metal on me?
on you, I'd say you probably have some metal on you.
Okay. Are they looking at me?
You can't tell with the hood up.
Okay. Then I'm gonna tell Midnight, and we're gonna keep going.
You mention it, Midnight nods. And as you get closer, the person stares at you for a moment. And then they reach up and they pull down the cloth around their lower face, and they reach with their other hand to pull out a mask that they put over the lower half of their face. Pushing back their hood, they jump down lackadaisically and land without an issue in front of the two of you. As Maximus' doppelganger stands before the two of you. He holds up one finger, and then he points with the other finger at Midnight. There you are. Right on time. Midnight takes like a half step back, looks to you, looks to them like, should we go in the other direction? I'm feeling the other direction. We run now? We run? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he turns and starts running. You kind of give a quick glance back as you run. He doesn't run immediately. Just kind of tilts his head watching you before tensing up and then just moving. And it is a fast run. It is a monastic monk run as he's running after you all, after the two of you. And glancing back, Midnight looks between the two of you, and he reaches over and quickly, like, kind of pats you on the shoulder and says, "Rendezvous? Yeah?
Yes, yes.
Split right." And he slams his foot into the ground and bolts left. And as you are turning right, you just hear them approaching and then peeling off to the left, as they apparently are following after Midnight instead of you.
Can I,
Mm-hmm.
can I have kind of murmur to myself and point at him and cast Ray of Sickness?
Make a spell attack roll. Okay.
16.
Fires at him, and it does miss. As he catches sight of it at the last second and kind of twists himself just enough to miss it. And he actually slows down and pauses. And he looks to you and he holds up a finger and he like waggles it back and forth like he is reprimanding a child. "No need. I'm not here for you. Not even here for her. Now if you'll excuse me." He takes off.
Why are you going after him?
Takes a few steps, pauses, looks at him, looks over to you. "The less you know, the safer you are."
What are you?
"Me?
Yes.
I'm Urian. That's all you need to know."
Urian?
Urian. I'll type it in the chat, don't worry. He gives you like a little, like, playful, condescending salute before hopping and running down the alleyway after Midnight.
We're still wearing those ear things, right? To talk to each other?
You are, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, she's telling Midnight that he's going after him.
Shit, fuck, damn it, shit, fuck, damn it, shit, fuck, damn it, shit, fuck, damn it. So you all hear
And
that.
she says his name's Urian, if that means anything to you.
Fuck, damn it, shit! Great. The original Blackout. Got it. Good to know. Thanks. And I will say this just so you know. If you ask him, say anything to him for the current time being, he is currently radio silent.
Okay, and Artemis is bolting back to the meet point, wherever they are going.
Gotcha. So I will quickly slide back real quick.
Zark is on a BRB.
Oh, yeah, Zark BRB. Damn it. So we'll slide forward real quick to Fidget.
Mm-hmm.
You and Tank. At the moment, things are very calm, mostly peaceful. Things seem
Yes.
to be good for the moment. You're able to stay low enough that no one is catching sight of you. You're hoping
Okay.
that if you're lucky, you won't have to have any encounters on your way. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Make another deception check with advantage.
Okay.
Tank's still doing okay.
19.
19 is good. There is a point where you guys, as you were moving around, Tank like kind of puts a hand on you and kind of moves you off to the side as some of the guardsmen kind of are like pushing their way like, Out of the way! Out of the way! Fire! Fire! Out of the way! As they are making the way, as you kind of pause, you kind of look over your shoulder, you just see smoke billowing in the distance.
She'll kind of chuckle at that, going, "Go, Artie!"
Fire. Already? Oof.
It's a good distraction.
True. We'll need to, food soon.
You too, big guy.
Are you hungry?
You know how I am with food.
Lots of food. Good food, yes. Fast food. Not... Yeah, want to sit.
You feeling okay?
Nervous. Don't like hunting. Hunted. Prefer hunt, not hunted.
Is there anyone around that is selling like street food?
Yep. You're able to pay like a couple of copper to get a few pieces.
Okay. And this whole time she's still working on making it look like the young couple out just walking the vast expanse that is Wavebreak.
Of course. Easy enough to do with your deception roll. Zaraku, are you back?
Rip.
You should be back soon. You did put a pin on things with Paris if you want to do anything with her.
Oh yeah, we're coming back to Paris now. Don't worry.
Oh,
Back to you. You're what?
I said I'm legit just here drifting.
Well, refocus.
that's why,
Can I get you
that's why we're
refocus?
that's why I keep pulling you back in, Paris.
Trying.
Refocus.
It's okay. We got you.
So you bully the two of them, and there's a few people who are definitely coming after you. They are absolutely going to be trying to follow you, but there's still slightly a bit of a crowd. Slightly. Enough to be problematic for them, but also problematic for you. It is going to slow you down a little bit. What do you do?
Look at Razor. Should we just get aggressive?
We can. Is that what you want to do?
She dodges.
All
She'll take a sharp turn into the alleyway.
You take a sharp turn into the alleyway, ready to start fighting, and as you do so, there's a person sitting on the roof that you can very clearly see, hood up, just kind of messing around with a knife. You kind of glance over as they hear you dive into the alleyway. They kind of lean back and kind of roll forward and land with a little bit of like a stumble step of someone who hit the ground. It's still hard as fuck. They stand up straight and they look between the two of you. Let's do a quick roll real quick.
Do they look? They look like fucking collective. Yes.
If they're collective, there's something off about them. It's like looking at someone who is cosplaying a collective member, but darker.
Okay.
And they look.
They got the coloring wrong.
Yeah. And they look between the two of you, and they kind of make a noise. Looks like I didn't find the one I wanted. Well, that's all right. You'll do. You can take me to her one way or another.
As soon as she hears that, can I just grip his face and just slam him into the wall?
Make an unarmed strike to do a grapple check.
That'd be athletics.
No. That'll grab. Make another unarmed strike. Roll damage. Okay.
I mean, it's gonna be 5 if it's unarmed.
Yeah, you do 5 bludgeoning damage, and you slam them, and as you still have them by the face. There's a moment where they're just like hit the wall and whatnot, and they just kind of slowly reach up and pat your arm, like it's still on their face and whatnot. Feisty. I do like that. And they will effectively push it so like you can like they push it so that you push their hood up and back as the hood falls around their shoulders, and you see them reach to draw a sword. You are taken aback.
Oh no.
As a very similar face, wearing a mask, but the eyes, they're off. Just enough to know that this isn't them. But it's Fidget looking at you.
Oh my god.
And at the end of the session, I'm going to have her make 3 attacks at you. What's your AC? That's cocked.
19.
2 of those will hit. 19. That is a 17. 17 will miss. So 2 attacks do hit. The other ones are a 23 and a 28.
I'd have to rage for the 23. Well, no, 23 would still hit, even if I was raging.
Yep. That's 9. 14 slashing damage on the first one,
Ow.
and 12 on the second. And that is where we're going to end the session.
You found Fidget and not the way that you should have. Fuck.
I mean, on the bright side, at least it's the tank that found her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you found not Fidget. Granted, they did say that they weren't looking for you. They said they were looking for her, so clearly they're here for some nefarious reason, but I'm sure we'll figure that out in the upcoming sessions.
The party is mostly women, so that can still mean 2
anyone.
others. And either way,
Anyone could be. Yes. But yes,
like Fidget gets the okay. You're trying to fuck with my sister. Yeah, I'm still gonna fucking kill you. If they're after Artemis, there's no words. There's just gore.
of course. I did see that you were back. We might start with Aurelia stuff next week. We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
Just to start your stuff off as well. And from there we will see what happens. For those who are watching with us, thank you all so much for watching. This has always been a pleasure to run this kind of stuff. And this is a little twist that has been cooking for a while. And I'm glad that I can finally unveil it, because
If it's who I think it is, it's been cooking for before we started this campaign.
correct. So
Oh my god, I'll explain it to you, Paris, after we're done.
I'll
Girl,
let me say
I'm
this.
hopping off as soon as we're done.
Yeah, I
I'm
have
so
a-
tired.
No worries. But thank you all so much for watching with us. If you're watching on Twitch, I do post these on my channel, Uncommon Guru. You can follow it under Cormundum Chaos. I said I would put that on the top of my thing. I didn't do that. I will try to remember to do that for next week. For those who are watching on YouTube, we do stream these at WhatTeamComp on Twitch. We generally start around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We hope we will see you there. Thank you all again. This is always such a delight. I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, we are WhatTeamComp. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye!
Yeah, all I was gonna